A European and Pan-American champion facing the reigning ADCC champion.
Oh man, and KADE is all the way across that alley very quickly.
I mean, we've seen that every match so far.
And look at the disdain. Look at the disdain on KADE. He has absolutely zero respect for Levi's strategy, but the thing is, it works. It's effective.
Yeah, well,
and look at that as he tries to pull out how sticky Levi's guard is. This is the problem, and this is why he's so eager to get to his guard so quickly.
Especially while they're not slippy, and he's got to show some respect. Oh! What defense!
That's what KADE thinks of Levi's best attacks.
Got to engage.
Just somersaults his way out of the crab ride.
Well, what KADE RUOTOLO can't do is actually continue to back away, because that will count as a stalling warning against him. So he does have to engage this guard.
I mean, KADE does that, though. KADE's in and out. KADE is elusive. You know, that's kind of his style. He'll put on pressure, he'll back off. He'll put on pressure and repeat. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're right. He can't actively disengage and run away. That is potentially worth a penalty. But I don't think that's KADE's style, because he'll back out a little bit, but his style is very much go forward.
You know, the other thing you got to think about with this match, you look at what both these guys have had to come through on each side of the bracket. Man, both of them did not have a single easy match. It's just superstar after superstar that these guys had to decimate through. Deniz, Langeker, Tackett. On the other side, Jimenez, RUOTOLO, and Barbosa.
Yeah, neither of these guys had an easy path to the final. I mean, we were kind of joking that this is like a super bracket or a group of death, but it really was one of the very best brackets ever assembled for this weight class.
The best.
The best. And, you know, to get to this stage, they had to fight their hearts out.
Now, we should also point out, and we didn't touch on it in the last match because it ended so quickly, but the finals are five-minute rounds, not 3. So there is the potential for this one to go really deep.
And we can kind of see that on the pacing that KADE's approaching this with. We know that Levi's going to come out with this approach, and look at this sweep. Triangle jump attempt by KADE RUOTOLO.
Locks this one up quick. He's got a big squeeze.
Levi stepping over though, and he makes a great play. What an exchange there by these two athletes.
He's going to try and drop down onto a leg, but turns around RUOTOLO. What a scramble. And
listen,
what great defense from Levi.
Levi really worked for that sweep, but he fell straight into a trap, and it just goes to show that KADE can fight from top or bottom.
Yeah, and you think on the scorecards, is it a wash? Does the submission attack count more than the sweep?
It 100% does. It 100% does. KADE is definitely in the lead in this match so far, thank you to that triangle choke attempt.
I mean, that was a split-second reaction from being over. I mean, he almost had the angle that he wanted. Levi just did such a great job following the pressure, looking for the release of the tension.
He addressed it quickly, but look at the clamp that he has. The way that he's able to grab on to that lower leg.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, who else in the world can do this? It's just such a rare skill. It's beautiful jiu-jitsu.
Looking to work around that outside. RUOTOLO controlling that opposite foot as well. And gets his posture compromised for a moment there.
Brings KADE down to a knee. KADE doing a good job. Got the right hand.
What an interesting grip on the leg that Levi has, and a back step over. Oh, he's got an entry in here. Good entry, going belly down on this.
KADE does a great job again, following the pressure. KADE makes an entry, Levi follows. Levi makes an entry, KADE follows.
This is going to be an extremely technical set of exchanges across these rounds.
Again, Levi, that's excellent. Go, go, go. Nice, Levi. Perfect.
KADE cautious and stepping forward. Levi trying to tempt him into his very dangerous guard.
That's it, engage. Go, go,
At the culmination of
sticky play again.
Looking to get in on the leg one more time.
And he's got a pretty good shot this time.
Yeah, trying to haul that knee line in.
KADE doing a pretty good job here. Oh my. Man, KADE is just so hard to keep a grip on.
And listen, KADE's gonna need to be careful because time popped his knee just because of the leg entanglements in the very first round of his match with Levi yesterday. And it just goes to show that, as you said, Brian, Levi is so sticky, his entanglements are so tight. So even if it is not an actual submission threat or submission attack, that there's still pressure going through that leg and it's danger.
Yeah, there's wear, there's tear. Some of the angles these guys are hitting. Closing seconds of round number one. It's going to be a tough decision for the judges here. And the scores are going to come in. We're going to let you know what they've decided after we see some replays. And kind of a really good feeling out round with plenty of action. Here's some of the replays. Talk us through it, gents.
Well, Levi made a really good entry, got those crab hooks in. And KADE just exploding with that, basically a backflip out of it. There's the big sweep right into the triangle choke. And this was so close to $1 million, almost $1 million triangle choke, but the shoulder was out. Levi follows it around the corner, ends up jumping immediately back onto his own entanglement.
And yeah, Levi addressed that really well, I gotta say. That was a flash submission attempt. It's kind of what the Ruotolos are known for.
Here are the scores from that first round. Two judges have gone the way of Levi Jones-Leary in that opening round for the submission off balances from the bottom position.
I don't agree with that. I'll say right now, and the crowd don't agree with that. I completely feel that that was the opposite way around.
A quick guard pull again from Levi here.
Cartwheel over the top by KADE RUOTOLO.
Now, guys, I should remind all of you watching on the stream at home, we have 3 announcements coming your way at the end of this event. We're going to be awarding $50,000 for submission of the event, $20,000 for most exciting fighter, and then there's a third announcement that nobody will tell me what it is. So you're going to have to stay tuned if you want to find out.
It's going to be massive, I'll tell you.
Do you know, or are you just playing with me?
No, but we've been told it's kind of like Marvel movie, you know, end credits kind of thing. It's like, you don't want to miss it because it's something important that's coming up, but that's as much information as we've been given.
So through the first minute here, again, some cagey guard passing attempts from Ruotolo. He's still got 4 rounds to play with here, so, you know, dropping that scorecard on two of the judges' panels.
The problem is that in order for KADE to pass the guard, he's going to have to get down there into the range that Levi Jones-Leary loves to play in. Levi keeping him at bay for right now. As KADE steps around to the side, Levi's so good at following around the corner, using his inversions to maintain his guard.
You know, the good thing about this transparent scoring as well is that KADE's corner and KADE himself will know that he's down, so they know that he needs to get busy and actually do something to win this round. It's not like, you know, they feel like they won it. I felt that he won it, but if he, you know, if it wasn't transparent, he would probably come into this match and cruise and think, it's no good.
Whoa, he stepped over into the inside heel.
Forcing the rolls, and the judges are going to see that and know it's an intentional bit of defense.
Uses it to come up, and I think that was a great choice. It's a choice we haven't seen from Levi very much this weekend.
As you mentioned in his last match, how he didn't wrestle up and dump him.
Man, and Levi almost wrestled up, but he drops back.
Well, listen, this is how... What's his other path to victory? He's going to get up and try to wrestle with KADE? That doesn't make sense. The guy's out here to try to win $1 million. He's going to stay in his A game, and you can dislike the strategy of it, but I guarantee that if KADE can't pass this guard, he's going to have to walk through these sticky entanglements over and over and over again, and I guarantee that if Levi comes up and tries to wrestle with KADE, he's going to get dropped on his head and get his guard passed.
You're right. He absolutely shouldn't be forced into a dynamic. He doesn't have to if it's his path to victory.
No, and Levi's done a great job of sticking to the game plan so far this weekend. There's absolutely no reason to change it when he is this close to winning $1 million. Second round of 5, just over 2 minutes remaining.
And I sort of feel like KADE is perplexed on how to deal with this guard. He hasn't gotten he's tried a couple of knee cuts, he's standing, changing sides, and he's found himself tangled up a couple of times.
Yeah, KADE, is incredibly opportunistic, right? And
on the straight forelock, Levi, straight forelock.
The one thing he doesn't do, he doesn't have like that methodical approach of trying to break the guy's guard, but he'll find a solution at some point, and it'll be as fast as any of us can imagine.
Well, KADE's best look so far has been when he got swept from Levi's guard.
Kind of crazy, right? To think that maybe KADE's path to victory is actually to play from bottom here.
Well, I think Levi Jones-Leary is making a strong statement here that he's one of the best guard players on the planet.
I remember talking to Joseph Jen about this, and he was saying that Lachlan's guard retention is just next level, and you know, Lachlan and Levi having trained together so closely recently, I'm sure that you know, Levi will have just augmented his already existing incredible guard game even more.
Well, this feels like some heavy pressure on top from Ruotolo now, moving into the last minute. And there hasn't been a hugely significant action from Ruotolo. Of course, Levi Jones-Leary forced that bit of significant defense earlier.
But he threatened to wrestle up. He threatened to sweep. He got a pretty deep leg, I guess, attempt at an entanglement. He had a bit of a tangle going. Never really a heel hook threat, but...
Yes, Levi.
Oh, late stage retention here.
And now he's slipping out the bat.
Well, toe hold from Ruotolo.
He's got a bend in it, but no isolation on the leg.
Well, Levi Jones-Leary over the top now, trying to pull that leg through. Ruotolo's going to keep all that weight on that right leg, not let it get sucked forward into the closing 10 seconds here of round number 2. And guys, could we see the Australian go 2 rounds up here?
And he's got the leg entanglement again to close the round. I think they're going to score that one for Levi Jones-Leary again. I think he's going to find himself up 2 rounds to none here.
Well, the scores are going to come in. We'll let you know what they are in just a few moments. Replays from that second round.
Here it is. Gets him with that inside heel hook style position, passing around to the outside. Of course, KADE, I mean, he's no stranger to any of these positions. He famously won ADCC with that leg lock. Man, this is just insane sticky guard work here. And this looks like, I mean, look, he's putting a bend in the foot, but there's no isolation on the leg. I don't know that I would even consider that a real submission attempt.
Well, here are your scores, and this time it is unanimous across the board for Levi Jones-Leary, 10 nines. That means on 2 of the judges' scorecards, he is up 20-18. And on the 3rd scorecard, it's tied at 19 all.
The crowd did not like that at all. They were very vocal in displeasure.
What is it that you think the crowd are not perceiving about the application of the scoring system here?
I mean, that's a great question, to be honest. I mean, I think that they feel the top guy has the advantage, right? And that they feel that KADE hasn't actually had to deal with any legit submission attacks. Submission entries, yes, but you're right. Under the criteria, it's who's initiating effective grappling action is going to be winning the round. Now, that doesn't necessarily need to be an active submission attack or threat, but even working towards it is enough.
Knee cut. And so it's about initiating effective action. Levi Jones-Leary, even though he hasn't been able to get into a deep footlock, he's initiated and gotten into leg entanglements.
BMAC, let me just double check the language there, because I believe it is effective initiation of action. A little bit different from...
I mean, it's semantics. For me, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And from my perspective, if I were a judge, you know, that's how I would be looking at it. But the problem is that the thousands of people inside the arena here at the Thomas & Mack, you know, what they see is they see Levi Jones on his back playing guard. They see KADE RUOTOLO pressing forward, you know, trying for those guard passes. And they see him backing out once in a while when his leg gets caught in a position. You know, they don't see it as close necessarily as our judges. They don't see the nuances in these positions and the micro details. But
Levi Jones-Leary with the off balance again here.
But you know, KADE has been working the whole time, but he hasn't initiated an effective guard pass. Even his offensive play, his triangle choke was a reactionary triangle choke.
Right, that's a really good point.
Oh, this is a little closer here.
And right now, I got to say, as we move through the middle portion of this 3rd round, the guard of Levi Jones-Leary is just a puzzle that KADE RUOTOLO cannot seem to solve easily.
Well, I'll say this, though, that if KADE were just trying to pass the guard, then yeah, he probably would be ahead on points. But the thing is that Levi's firing off just like this. Levi is firing off attacks from bottom, that are probably, like we said, more effective than KADE's attacks. So if Levi was playing purely defensive, then KADE would 100% be ahead on the cards.
Yeah, we don't score defense here at CJI. You know, the guard retention of Leary is not what's scoring him points. It's the fact that off those guard retentions, or even sometimes just initially, he's then hitting offensive actions.
Well, I mean, let's measure. Let's take an objective look at what is KADE doing. He's changing sides, he's getting a grip, and then he's backing out, and no grips. Now watch, he steps inside, he gets a little bit of a position, Levi recovers it, presses forward, tries to establish his own grips, and then KADE backs out again.
Now, it feels like this might be a little bit of a deeper pass position for him as he starts weighing heavy on that knee shield.
For your bottom knee.
I got to think KADE's frustration starting to show just a little bit. Levi's giving him a hard time right here.
Finish strong, Levi. Finish strong. 1 minute 20.
And look, circling, making an entry, but every time he makes an entry, here goes Jones now setting a grip and getting into his game here.
Oh,
this is a nice play now by Ruotolo. Almost there, he's almost there.
The leg drag for the first time. Can he secure a passing position?
Look at this, it's this smashed up passing position versus that underhook grip of Levi Jones-Leary, and he recovers back.
Now, would you say that was good offensive action from Ruotolo?
Yes, I would. That was his strongest offensive movement so far, I would say. But even in the midst of that offensive movement, that underhook.
Right, there was danger
leg,
there, right?
Yeah, which is why he's not still in that same offensive movement, why he didn't advance to another position.
30 seconds.
Levi's guard is one of the best in the world, and you can think, oh, I don't like to watch the guard play, but you got to be able to beat the guard play of Levi Jones-Leary if you want to walk out of here with the win.
Well, Ruotolo motioned like he was going to fall back on a heel hook entry there, bailed out pretty quickly. We're into the final 15 seconds, and guys, this is another close round. Oh, again, in the closing seconds, potential entanglement for Levi Jones-Leary.
Not quite there.
No, Ruotolo floating around on top.
That round a lot closer. I might be inclined to give that one to Ruotolo because I felt like he was going forward more in that situation. Well, but the problem is he's going forward, but nothing, he can't get anything going off of it.
Well, we'll see the scores come in very shortly. Replays from that third round here. We are going to move into championship rounds now. Rounds 4 and 5.
Yeah, that guard passing sequence at the end there, that had Levi extremely on the defensive.
Good action from Ruotolo, and we can confirm all 3 judges gave that round to the young man. So bearing a little closer, he's ahead on one of the judges' scorecards, 29-28. The other 2 judges, 29-28 in favor of Leary.
Wow, interesting to hear the crowd get behind Ruotolo like that when they hear that the judges had scored it in his favor. And they are so
the crowd do not like the guard play.
I think what's really going on is they love KADE Ruotolo. Yeah. So anything that's not going his way,
But the problem is they've been spoiled because they've had some amazing KADE Ruotolo matches,
right?
And then, you know, especially after that match with Andrew Tackett, they want a barn burner in this final, and Levi is very smartly not taking that bait.
Well, they want him to be Andrew Tackett, and he's just not Andrew Tackett. It's not the same kind of player. They don't have the same kind of skill set. They don't have the same kind of strategy.
Andrew Tackett's one of a kind.
Well, and by the way, Andrew Tackett's on the sideline watching right now, and Levi Jones-Leary's still out there with his strategy.
Exactly. Yeah, Andrew Tackett's, you know, he's going home with just $10,001, whereas Levi Jones-Leary is in the running here and in the lead on the judges' scorecards.
Yeah, but KADE's starting to creep ahead a little bit, maybe, in the eyes of the judges.
Well, you can't fault the fight IQ, really, of either of these 2 men over the course of this weekend. But Ruotolo perhaps starting to knock the tempo up a little bit here.
Deep grip on that leg.
I mean,
underneath.
Here's the thing.
K-guard in position.
It is a feeling out process as well, right? You get more rounds, you get more familiarity with the patterns. You start seeing what works a little bit more.
Here's an entry.
Hold that leg.
It's just not there.
Again.
Do you think perhaps you would like to see Levi be a little bit more aggressive and assertive in putting some of these entanglements into play?
Well, he is playing reactionary in the sense that he's forcing Cade to come down into his world. But once Cade does come down into his world, then he's the offensive player. But the initial, I guess, initiation belongs to Cade, generally speaking, because he's looking, he's going side to side, he's hunting, he's coming forward. But when he comes forward, nothing is really developing for him. And as soon as he does come forward, the things start to develop for Levi. So it's a real clash, and it's hard to score. I don't know which way to take it. I'm just really glad I'm not a judge.
And I'll say this as well, that I feel that that Levi has been less effective with his leg entanglements in the last round than he was in the first couple. I mean, he's doing a good job of, you know, playing the positions. He's got great guard. He's spinning through. His guard rotation is on point, but we're not seeing those effective scoops into the K-guard or into the Ashies that we saw earlier in the match. So, you know, I do feel that momentum is shifting a little bit. So we see the off-balancing, we see the spinning, but there's no pressure on the legs like there was earlier.
Yeah, that's the first time he's forced Ruotolo in this round to actually sit to the mat, and he's possibly going to get on one here.
Cade's just too slick for that.
That's where you wonder if just a little bit more aggression, a little bit more meanness.
Cade with an Aoki. Cade had an Aoki there. Man, I'm just looking around on Mad's side. There are so many supporters for Cade, but also including many of the Atos teammates have come out. You know, in his corner, of course, Andre Galvao, Tai Ruotolo, Eric Paulson. But I'm looking around, I see Mike Perez, I see Lucas Barboza, I see many big names from World of Jiu-Jitsu.
This arena is absolutely packed to the rafters here.
Oh, here's a pretty good entry by Levi.
Moving into the final minute, he's got a good bite now. Oh, and heel slips.
He's not out of the woods yet, though. Still sticky on the back. Weaving through.
Well, again, he grabs hold of an ankle, tries to suck him back in, and easily slipped again by Ruotolo. Now, there's been a few sequences now where Levi Jones-Leary's got a little bit deeper. Ruotolo sitting through now. Has he put himself in danger?
See, Cade kind of, he's using a similar pattern of camping out in the guard right there. He seems to have figured out the safer spots to hang out in the guard, but the problem is then Levi will do this.
Oh, trying to come up on the back, but Ruotolo attacking the leg now, potentially.
There's no leg attack there. There's no leg attack there for Cade.
It's a knee crunch potential.
Yeah,
it's the wrong position, the arm's on the wrong side. Levi's basically in a leg drag.
Oh, time expires there.
It was a wrong side.
That is going to be a very, very tight round on the judges' scorecards.
I think they're going to go Ruotolo again on that one.
Well, we'll
I think
see.
the momentum is shifting towards Ruotolo now.
We've got one more round coming your way. It is the 5th and final round as we look back at some of the replays from that 4th period.
Levi getting sticky, getting grips, but I feel, you said it, Howell, he's getting farther and farther away from meaningful entanglements as the fight progresses.
Yeah, Cade, I think, is
he's got him sussed out a little bit.
He knows Levi's patterns at this point. You know, he can shut them down earlier, and if he does get kind of drawn in, then he's not getting drawn in as deep, and it's easier to get out.
Round 4 scores in. They are all in favor of of Ruotolo, which means on two judges' scorecards we are tied at 38-38. And on the third judges' scorecard, we have a 39-37.
Listen, it all comes down to this round. Whoever takes this round takes this match and takes $1 million. KADE actually does go to bottom, and I do feel that this is not a bad strategy.
I mean, we haven't seen a single bit of passing play, really, from Levi Jones-Leary the whole weekend.
But he can. He can play from top. He certainly can, but it's just, you know, the guard work has been so effective for him. It doesn't make sense to abandon his strategy. But look at the footwork. Look at the dynamic pummeling from Levi from top. The difference in the guard passing. Now we're finally getting to see Levi's top game.
Yeah, he's got a staple on that leg. Looking to work over the top now. How crazy that after all of this, it comes down to
leg drag.
This last 5-minute period for who is going to take $1 million home.
Hey, I'm saying that, you know what? KADE has had a taste of Levi's pressure. That's why he's immediately stood up. Top. Levi's passing is no joke, and I think it's very smart now for KADE to have given it a little go, but to go back to the game plan and to keep that pressure on, because, like we said, this last round is basically the decider.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have anything left in your gas tank at the end of this 5 minutes, you might just be playing it a little bit wrong. I know they've got to be tactical. I know they've got to be very concerned, because a healthy respect for how fast either of these two can finish this bout.
Endurance is not an issue at all for KADE Ruotolo. He can keep going. Yeah, Levi's been playing a comfortable game as well, but
is it too comfortable?
Really,
that's the question.
Yeah, I mean, the question really is that who can make the more meaningful moves in this final round?
Yeah, and it's a philosophical question almost, like which of these, what do we actually value more in the sport? Is it the unpassable guard? Or is it the top game?
Trying to invert here. Ruotolo buries his head in as he tries to squirm to either defend or find a pass.
He sprawls all the way out of there. That was excellent defensive work. Now KADE starting to bury through. He's driving now.
This forward pressure is good for KADE Ruotolo. Yes. The judges are going to see this, and they're going to say he's the one doing the initiation.
And he is the one doing the initiation now. Got to watch this arm on the backside, and now he's got a big scoop grip.
Yep. Levi Jones-Leary hustling to try and get this, but a bit too much separation here. He tries to pull back through. Big sprawl from Ruotolo again.
Man, everywhere KADE Ruotolo goes, there is a leg in the way. Levi's guard is ridiculous. It's like he's got 8 legs.
In the final 2 minutes of the very first Craig Jones Invitational, the under 80 kilo bracket has absolutely delivered this weekend. With a shot in the corner of KADE Ruotolo, his brother Ty, along with Eric Poulsen and Andre Gavau. And Howell, you made a good point in the build-up to this. KADE Ruotolo isn't just fighting for himself, he's fighting for his brother, who was knocked out of this competition by Levi Jones-Leary.
And the whole Ruotolo family are on the sideline screaming to just try and urge KADE on in this match, because they know there's more than just $1 million on the line. There is the historic element as well. You come out of here of CJI as the champion, your name is going to go in the history books. And that is what the Ruotolo is all about. Even though they're only 21, the legacy is so important to them.
Well, we're into the final minute now. A big inhale from the Australian, some leg pummeling from Ruotolo on top.
Man, okay,
let's see if one of these guys takes a risk here.
There is 1 minute left, and I got to say, this is KADE's round.
I think so too.
Yeah. The pressure that he has put on.
The willingness to show the bottom game as well. He came out, he showed that he'll play either way.
Oh, we're now seeing some real intention on the face of Levi Jones-Leary, trying to pull this leg into a position.
KADE falling back on a leg.
40 seconds.
Oh,
it all comes down to this.
Possible backflip attempt. Smashing those legs down again.
We're seconds away from seeing who's going to come out of here with $1 million.
The crowd spurring them on here.
KADE's going airborne for sure.
Final 15 seconds.
Oh, almost turned the corner on that guard.
Time for one last attack. Ruotolo, I think he thinks he's done enough.
I think I have to agree with that.
I'm of the same opinion. I'm saying it right now. I feel like Ruotolo maybe took that one, but it's just our opinion. We'll see what the judges say in just a second.
Well, both guys on their feet. They each think they're going to take the victory here. Scores are going to come in shortly. And Craig Jones sitting here next to our commentary booth with a big, fat case of cash for the under 80 kilo champion.
You know, I think just as the match progressed, Levi got further and further away from deep entanglements. You know, like in the beginning, especially the first 2 rounds, Levi's guard was very sticky. He was getting into good positions, getting good looks, good entanglements. But as the match progressed, KADE's level of confidence just rose higher and higher. And Levi was just not able to progress as deeply into the entanglements. And then he started, especially in that 4th and 5th round, I felt like KADE really pushed forward.
Yeah, you saw that that backflip attempt as well, just initiating more of the action perhaps across that 5th period. But boy, did it come down to that 5th round. Even across the board at the halfway point of that match. Levi Jones-Leary with the early lead, momentum slowly swinging towards KADE Ruotolo. The question is, though, how did it end? We're just waiting for our MC to make his way back into the ring and make this announcement. And a reminder, we're also, after this, going to be giving out $50,000, $20,000, and some announcement that I'm not being allowed to say what it is, or even told.
I got the secret.
Oh, you do?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the final matchup for this evening here at the inaugural Craig Jones Invitational, we'll go to your 3 judges at Ali's side. Your first judge, Zach Maslany, scores the fight 49-46, while judges Johnny Souza and Miha Povehek both see it the same, 48-47. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the under 80 kilogram, $1 million CJI champion, KADE Ruotolo.
What a performance from KADE Ruotolo. The entire arena here on their feet. He heads over to celebrate with his brother, Ali's side. And look, he's been great on the mic all weekend. I can't wait to hear what he has to say about his experience here and walking away with $1 million.
KADE Ruotolo, writing his name in the history books.
KADE Ruotolo, congratulations. I spoke to your parents before your match, and I said, what are their thoughts about your final? And they're like, we just want to keep the momentum going. And you did just that, $1 million. How's it feel?
Oh, absolutely unbelievable. You know, there's very few moments that add up to moments like these. The 80cc, you know, the one, and this is right there with the $1 million. I mean, come on, I'm rich. No, I get it.
And we know you have a place out there in Costa Rica that you've been looking to build out, have surf jiu-jitsu camps. Is that where some of this money is going to go?
Oh, absolutely. The gym is finished. The gym's looking beautiful. We just need to build some cabinas for everybody to come stay, you know, so that's the next part. I'm just beyond psyched. It's coming together. Dream's coming true.
And your brother in the corner, I saw you give him a hug. Did he have a special message for you?
He just said, I'm so effing proud of you, dude. He was so stoked. Like as I was as well, you know. I said it in the yesterday. The only person tougher than me in this bracket is my brother. You know, he got injured in that first round of his last fight, and that wasn't even, you know, close to his potential. But I knew for a fact the only person that could really put me out in this division was my brother. You know, so it was epic.
Well, congratulations! A huge win, KADE Ruotolo. You're under 80.